brand new episode of the Code Drop, and today we're going to see how to use media queries and how to make responsive websites. So let's open our folder in Visual Studio Code and let's get started. Okay, here we have the index.html file and a logo.png file. So we're going to use an image to show how responsiveness works. So let's open this folder first in Visual Studio Code. Let's minimize this out, and we have our index.html file right here. So what we're going to do in our index.html file is that we'll add a background after adding a paragraph. So let's do that first. So let's add a paragraph tag, and let's say that this is we're going to use the lorem ipsum thing. So you just have to write lorem ipsum, and after that we have to write the number of characters you want. So it will write that. Now we have this paragraph. Let's go live, and this is the output you'll get. You'll have a paragraph which will have some random text written in it, and it will be lorem ipsum $set. So what we're going to do is we want to style this paragraph first. So let's go to our style tag, and our style tag will add the paragraph selector. Let's do that. And in our paragraph selector, what we're going to do is we'll add a background first. So let's add a background here, and a background of, let's say, color red. So the background will be red. Let's add a padding right there, padding of 10 pixels from all the sides right there, and let's change the color to white. There we go. So this is how you can style our paragraph. It's just to show that there's nothing more going on with that. So what we're going to do is we want to use media queries, and using those media queries, what we'll do is we'll change the styles depending on the size of the browser window. So that's why media queries are used. Media queries are basically used to change the style of the HTML elements depending on the size of the browser window. So let's do that. And what we're going to do is we'll go right there and add @media, and we'll set min width as, let's say, the minimum width of the screen should be 600 pixels. Okay, and when this happens, what we want to do is we want the paragraph to have a different background color. So let's make the background blue in that case. So you can see that our background has become blue because the width is less than 600 pixels. So what if we resize our browser window? So let's go here and let's resize the browser window, and you can see that the background has changed to red because now the width is more than 600 pixels. So using this property, you can change the style depending on the size of browser window using media queries, and we use that using @media. So we're going to see how to make a responsive page using these media queries. And responsive page is really important because if your page is responsive, it can open seamlessly in browser windows, in desktops, in laptops, in phones, and in tablets. So they all run seamlessly. So let's first add an image just to show what happens if we don't have a responsive web design. So let's add an image, and let's add src here, and src is going to be /logo.png. Let's hit save, and let's add a class of rest here, so to show that it is responsive. Now you can see that when I go to full screen, this image is taking up a whole lot of space, and this image is not visible in the browser window. So what we're going to do is we'll just go in our style tag, and here we'll add .resp, and what we'll do here is we'll just add a width property of 100%. So let's do that, and now you can see that it doesn't matter what the width of the browser window is, it will just come to the 100% of the width of the window. So using this width property, you have made the page responsive, the image responsive actually, to behave in a similar way. So this is how you make an image responsive, but this is not limited to images. You should know how to make all the components of your page responsive. So okay, so now just we're going to move this one more level up, and what we're going to do is we'll change the image when the screen size is small. So if we open this in a phone, a different image should come, and if we open it in a desktop or tablet, a different image should come. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll just change this class. So let's make it ing large. So ing for image will only be displayed if the element is large enough. So let's make ing large here also. There we go. And what we're going to do is, if the width is less than 600 pixels, what will happen is that our .ing lar will have display of none. So that means that it will not be displaying there. So it gets removed when the display gets smaller. And instead of that, we'll add different image for the same thing. So let's add one more image right here. And let's make it image SML for image small. And what gonna happen is that our image SML is going to be set to display normally, but when the screen width decreases less than 600 pixels, what's gonna happen is that we'll have .img width equals 100% and display equals block. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we want to add a different image rather than logo.png to show if it's working or not. So let's just make it logo1.png and we'll just edit out this photo again. Let me copy this. Let me rename this here logo1.png. And what we're going to do is we'll just crop this. So let's go to edit. It will open in Paint. Yeah, we're using Paint here, right? So what I'm going to do is we'll just select it and invert the color. So this is different image radically than the previous image. So let's save it and let's see the output now. So when we decrease the width of this window size less than 600 pixels, what happens is that our image changes and our paragraph becomes blue background. So this is how you use media queries to make responsive websites, and doing that really helps a lot because instead of making three separate websites for three different platforms like phones and tablets and desktops, you can just make one website which works for all of them. So that's why you need responsive web design. Now let's just crank it up a little bit higher and let's make a simple grid layout and how that works. So what we'll do is we'll just add one more file here. Let's add one more HTML file and we'll say it as grid.html. Okay, and in our index file we'll add a link to that grid file. So let's add a break here, a break there, and then a href grid.html, and go to grid page. There we have our link. Let's add two breaks here also. So when we click on it, we'll go to our next page is grid.html, and now we'll add content for this. So let's just copy a little bit from here, the style tag. Let's copy this right here, and now our grid.html file, what we're gonna do is we'll just add a body right here, and we're not going to do too much right now. So let's go to our style tag for now and let's add 5 different classes. So the first class is going to be large 1. Okay, so dot large 1 right here. Its width is going to be, let's say, 20%, and we'll make similar classes of large 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be large 2, this is going to be large 3, this is going to be large 4, and large 5. Let's change these values, just increase them by 40%, 20%. So this will be 40%, this will be 60%, this will be 80%, this will be 100%. Now these are the large classes right here. After this, let's add @media queries here. So @media min width, the min width is going to be 600 pixels, or actually let's set it to 1000 pixels, and okay, we can't add that like that. So and max width is going to be 600 pixels. Okay, so I've done it reverse. So the min width should be 600 pixels and the max width should be 1000 pixels, like that, and not the other way around. So they should be like that. And now what we're going to do is we'll set all the we'll set new values now. So we'll make dot medium, because these are the medium screen sizes from 600 pixels to 1000 pixels. These are the tablet sizes. So let's add medium 1, and the width is going to be now, let's add a width of, let's make large 1 and large 2 the same size. So let's make it 33% for both of them. Let's do that. Mid 1 and comma dot mid 2. So these will have the same width, and we'll do the same thing for mid 3 and mid 4 and mid 5. So let's add mid 4 here, and then mid 3 here, mid 5 right here, and we'll remove this mid 2 from here because it's extra. And now the width is going to be 99% here and 66% here. This was for medium screens, and you'll soon see why we're doing this, and this is going to be really amazing when you see once. So let's add the last few media queries, which will be for the small screens, and we'll just say max width equals 699, or actually 599 pixels. And now we'll have small screen sizes, so we'll write .sml1, .sml2, like that. So what we're going to do is, in small also, we'll just copy the large values only. So the width is going to be 20%, right? And let's copy it a few times and make it 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100%. So let's just name these classes 2, 3, 4, and small 5. There we go. So now we'll head to our body tag right here. Okay, so to see that in action, let's add a paragraph tag right in our body tag, and we'll again add the lorem ipsum thing here also. So lorem ipsum, and it's going to be for 50 words. Let's set it there. And what we're going to do is we'll change the background. Actually, we don't need to change anything here. So what we're going to do is we'll just add a class. So the class is going to be large 2, and then medium 3, and it's mid 3, and at last SML 5. So it's going to take 40% width when the browser window is more than 1001 pixels. It's going to take 66% when the browser window is between 600 pixels and 1000 pixels. And at last, it's going to take the whole width, 100% of it, when it's in smaller screen sizes, like less than 600 pixels. So let's see that. Let's go to our browser window and resize it. And when we resize it, you can see now that the paragraph is taking the whole width of the page. And if we increase it, you can see that it is taking 66% now. And if we increase it even further, now it's taking just the half of screen, which is 40%. So this is how you make a simple grid. And the reason to make a grid like this is that you can make columns right here, and you can use those columns to make even more paragraph. So let's add this right here. So what's gonna happen is, what we want to do is we'll set it as medium to here and medium to here again. Small 5, large 2. Okay, so you can see that now instead of just one paragraph, we have two paragraphs side by side because we're using a grid thing here. So if we increase it to mid 3, it's still going to work. The sum should be less than 5 between mid 2 and mid 3. It can be mid 1 and mid 4. It can be anything, but the sum should be less than 5. Same thing for small also, it can be small 5, so it cannot be more than small 5, because once you surpass small 5, you don't have any classes for it, first of all. And the second thing is that that is the maximum allowed space, so it should be small 5 only. And when we maximize it, you can see that we have these two columns right there. So this is how you make a simple grid, and I will link a better grid in the description down below, and you try to use that and make a few responsive projects for your own. So that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it, and if you liked it, like the video, and if you loved it, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next episode of the Code Drop. Bye for now.